And welcome back to an episode of Crypto. My God, the weekend has been so nuts. I have just been plugged in the entire time. I haven't even had time to put on clothes. All this stuff going on with the Libra coin out of Argentina has been mind-blowingly crazy. I've been in this space for a very long time, and what occurred over the past 72 hours is just absolute batshit. So let's get into it. Okay, so everything starts with this guy Javier Millei. We've been following him quite closely in the cryptocurrency industry because he's an aggressive libertarian with a lot of ideas on how to fix the Argentinian economic crisis. Basically, the long and the short of it, Argentina is full of corruption. They experience hyperinflation over and over again. I've been going down there for many years for the reasons of Bitcoin and people trying to figure out how to save their money down in Latin America. The whole cryptocurrency experience is quite different. It's not about get-rich-quick schemes. It's just about how can I actually hold a store of value. We're so tired of seeing our money disappear. I make $100 on a Monday. It's only worth $50 on a Sunday. This is problematic. Bitcoin was an opening, an opportunity for them to actually hold their own capital in something more stable. I know that's funny sounding. Bitcoin is stable, but compared to the Argentinian peso, that's the deal. Now, Javier comes around, and this is him dressed in his superhero alter ego as he goes after all of the corruption inside the Argentinian government. He went through, basically ran the Doge play prior to the Doge committee, slashing tons of jobs because the majority of work in Argentina was inside of bureaucratic efforts, and he has been on a tear, just completely revamping the government the way it works, and for the first time in a long time, they're actually in a healthier financial environment. Now, unfortunately, for Javier, he got in with some funky crypto boys for some reason, not our brightest minds out there, and he got swept up into this giant scandal. So what happened here? Over the weekend, Javier posts from his Twitter account about this Libra token. It is part of a broader project to expand economic opportunities inside of Argentina, creating this ecosystem that they called Libra. And behind it is a token. Now, he tweets this out, and what happens is we experience a really quick pump and dump. This all happens over the course of, I want to say 30 minutes. I saw it say as long as 2 hours, but I was awake when this was happening. I was looking at it. People in my group chats were YOLOing in. I saw $200,000 six-figure clips going into it while the token was just tanking. Now, immediately following, he puts out this other post that says a few hours ago I had a tweet, so many other times, supporting a supposed private enterprise. He's like, I was not aware of the details. Anyway, a filthy set of rats of the political caste who want to take advantage of this situation to do harm. I want to say that every day how vile politicians are, and they increase conviction to kick them in the ass, right? This is the way he speaks, and he's basically saying, I'm rescinding this endorsement, and that the people that are going to come after me are doing it for political gain. But let's take a quick look at what happens here. So the on-chain deployer, and this is really happening through a team of people outside of Javier's personal involvement, right? When these crypto tokens get launched, there are teams behind it that approach these people who have a following, who have a name, who have recognition, and they say, hey, we want to launch a token for you. This was a combination of a venture firm that honestly I'd never heard of prior, based out of Singapore, and this small team group of technical launch partners launched by this dude Hayden. Again, I'd never heard of these guys. I've been in this industry for a very long time. So what happens is the Libra team used 3 insider wallets to snipe their own tokens, making a profit of 6.65 million. This is happening kind of in real time, right? These numbers are actually very small, but from what we realized by the end. But as always with crypto and blockchain, you can track these things live in real time. So it starts to get picked up. What the hell is happening? We're looking at them sniping their own things. Sniping is a word for using a bot to automatically purchase large chunks of tokens very early on. Obviously, you snipe them at the beginning, maybe when the contract deploys the token, when the price is very low, and they just sell them for a dump. This is the pump part of the pump and dump. Now, we start to see some weird activity, right? A few hours ago, before Libra was launched, this wallet bridges 6 millions into it and snipes 3.77 million, and then quickly sells it, right? So you can see bot activity sort of happening through here. Now, what's happening at this point in time is really you're seeing all of these buy orders that come down here from the sniper bots, right? So people are assuming that there is actual legitimate purchases happening. The reason these volumes are so big is because these bots are deploying massive amounts of capital, right? $1 million into a very illiquid coin, big buy candle. Of course, you see all of these being just reversed. That's what these candles are, is the buys turning into sells quickly, and it drops down. Now, I'm watching this in real time going, anyone has to be crazy to do this. People in my chats are like, well, the Trump coin, if you were a day into it, it still went up, right? So they're just throwing money at it. And it turns out that there's influencer cabals. A group of dudes over in LA are insider trading this. All of this funky stuff is happening. And it just tanks, right? So there's reputational damage. Immediately, you have these Kelsier Ventures, the business partner that is apparently connected. I mentioned the VC firm that is brought in. And they put out this statement, Libra token launch, addressing recent developments. Basically, everybody is scrambling for their reputational damage, what they're going to do. How is this going to be reflected when all the dust settles, right? What is the legal ramifications? Should they distance themselves? What do they do? Now, one really important thing to note, as I'm brought up by Wassie Lawyer, a great account if you want to follow things on the legal side. He generally works with crypto startups on token deployments. This was really marketed in a dangerous way. So you can see, if you went to the website, a token with a purpose, Libra. As a symbol of the movement and in honor of Javier Millei's libertarian ideas, we're launching the Libra token, designed to strengthen the Argentinian economy from the ground up, supporting entrepreneurship and innovation. With this token, we aim to channel funding, and this is what's really important here. With this token, we aim to channel funding efficiently and in a decentralized manner, allowing investors and citizens to take part in Argentina's growth. When you market things like this, when you market this as an investment in a collective agreement or purpose, this is what constitutes a security. I spent a lot of time in the trenches with crowdfunding, with securities. The idea is it's all about marketing. It's the language that you use to present it. Is there a third party that's taking funds, that's using their efforts to create rewards, to create revenue? Basically, it's, is there a third party? Are you giving them money? This third party receives capital as an investment. Their efforts create returns. Those returns are distributed. This is the Howey test. This is what constitutes a security. Now, when you sell a security, if you're selling it to Americans, you have to market it under a very specific language. If you're selling to non-Americans, you have to make sure that those two messagings do not cross-pollinate. You need to create entire ad campaigns focused at US versus non-US. And of course, if you're doing this through a crowdfunding, that changes entirely as well. So this right here, this screen that you're looking at, puts this fairly in the camp of securities. This is no longer a meme coin because this is promising that they are allowing investors and citizens to take part in Argentina's growth. Extremely dangerous. Now, this is Julian Peh, the legal counsel behind the Kelsier Ventures. So he is a lawyer, should know exactly what he's doing, how he gets wrapped up into this. Very hard to tell. He is currently distancing himself aggressively from this and, of course, has addressed this update on the recent developments. But you can see that what happened here just devolved so quickly. This is what I have been referring to as the asymptote of meme coins. We saw meme coins originally. Dogecoin, obviously the front runner from years ago, is actually up and trending because it broke through the mold. But as we've gotten further and further with Pump.Fund, with 50,000 coins being launched a day, we are moving towards zero. That is what the asymptote of the meme coins is. We're seeing the pumps and the dumps happening in faster and faster timelines. There's even technology to be built now to snipe them in the beginning. The snipers are getting them so early, and then they don't care. They just want money, so they'll dump it immediately. That is to say, the candles are looking immediate. We're seeing short opportunities being presented from other platforms. There's no way to maintain the upward momentum of these things. They are clearly moving towards zero. Everyone realizes they're getting fleeced. This is the end of the meme coin era. This could be very healthy for the ecosystem, by the way. Now, it's absolutely insane because this starts a ripple effect, right? Javier Milei got elected into his presidential role as somebody who was going to take on corruption. He was going to slash these people that are abusing the system. Immediately following this coin launch, this coin failure, we start to see international law firms reportedly preparing massive lawsuits against Argentinian President Millei after Libra scandal. Of course, he is going to present this as political opposition trying to take him down. This is likely true. A lot of these people are in that camp that he called corrupt. However, this is a man's hard work, his legacy, something that he won a national presidency around, and it's being completely disrupted by the dumb, stupid effects of this meme coin casino mania. Now, mind you, there are actual casinos on blockchain. Why not just go and have these funds? But the argument here is that the meme coins present themselves as an opportunity, right? There is a mixed messaging, and that's where it starts to get really dangerous. Of course, we can track this in real time, and cryptocurrency and blockchain, they have this advantage. So when anyone tries to tell you they're great for money laundering, for doing these pump and dump schemes, it's absolute BS. It's in no way good for this. And people start to track this right out of the gate. So here's a great thread by Bubble Maps, which goes on to show exactly the rotation of funds. And what do they find as they dig into this, which is an association with the Melania token account. So this starts to get deeper and deeper. Following the Trump launch, Trump coin did not have anything to do with this, but we get Melania immediately following. It turns out that it's the same wallets that not only funded Melania, but are also self-sniping the coin themselves. And this starts to get really crazy. To launch a coin and to snipe it in the same time, I mean, how is that anything besides crime, right? You're saying we're going to launch this token and we're going to immediately front run everybody. And this is using computer systems. They start to assemble this flowchart, which shows that this is a consistent cabal of people that are launching these coins, and they're also front running their investors. There is a pattern here, and it begins to get deeper and crazier. Now, one thing that comes out, this guy Hayden pops out, and you're like, who is this? Starts having connections. We're starting to associate who is behind it. This dude, I believe he's like 23, and he starts putting out these crazy messages. So Hayden comes out and he launches this self-explaining video, and he's wearing this crazy outfit, and he's trying to begin to explain his side of the story. Now, he's clearly doing this without any sort of legal consult, and he's saying things that the viewer and anyone who understands the law is kind of like, holy shit, what are you doing? This is self-incriminating. And why would you do it coming out wearing this sort of villain outfit? So it just starts to devolve into this wild, wild story. And of course, this is the man who is now connected to these accounts. So that's what we're seeing. These wallets are really being operated by Hayden as the technical expert who is the launch consultant. Now, Hayden is apparently hired by Kelsier Ventures, right? We start to see how these guys are all put together. And of course, the community gets into it. They come alight. Like, the story is just so vibrant, so crazy. And to anyone who is aware of the sleuthing community inside crypto, who are highly effective, if you want to scam these people, beware. There's really smart counter forces at play. So what happens last night is this amazing interview by Coffezilla, who's gone up against Andrew Tate, who's gone up against SafeMoon, other scams, and we get this hour-long conversation between Hayden and Coffezilla.
For the last 48 hours, I've been investigating the Argentinian meme coin disaster known as Libra.
Anyway, I will share this video in the description. It is utterly mind-blowing. You're basically having a 1-hour confessional of Hayden saying that he's violating crime, or that he's committing crimes in a variety of ways. His defense is that he admits to self-sniping these accounts, saying that we're going to snipe to build up a treasury so that when other snipers dump, we have capital to repurchase. He's basically saying, I steal from the coffers so that when the other thieves exit, I can come back in and I can support the floor. This is crazy. It's crime to prevent crime. It's like the most nutty, wild admission of guilt. You have an hour of it. I don't know why he's doing it. He's attempting to disassociate himself from this, to distance himself and say that I am not the criminal, but he is directly putting his hands out there and saying, lock me up. So this is going to be some of the most useful evidence, and this is just a wild interview. You have to watch it. And of course, 1 hour, put it on like 1.5x, it'll go pretty quickly. Now, it gets a little bit deeper because then you have Dave Portnoy who's in this. And as this is all going down, there is, he's talking about it publicly and he's losing money on it, and everybody's looking on chain, and they discover that not only did he lose about $6 million, but he gets $5 million reimbursed. So you start to see this really weird situation, and Dave Portnoy's involved, and it's like, okay, if he's there and he says he received tokens and he sent them back, then what other insiders are at play here, right? The question of the insider cabal trading, the amount of crime, and these day trading rings that are happening in the meme coin arena is getting just insane. There is no way for an average retail person to make money because this is all just insider trading, which is a crime, by the way. Now, during that Coffezilla conversation, we realized that Hayden actually has a store of about $110 million that were taken out at the behest of the Kelsier Ventures team or some other part, and he's trying to figure out what to do with it. So he's basically walking around saying, I have $100 million. I'm waiting to figure out how to redistribute it, how to make it, how to make investors good, and what to do with it. I don't really know what a good solution is, and he's going to have to figure this out on his own. So you've got Dave Portnoy here sitting with him, kind of figuring things out. And of course, there's more incriminating evidence coming down the pike. So this is all super strange. Now, one of the craziest things is today, Dario Epstein posts this thing on how to buy Libra. And if you can't read Spanish, it basically says create a phantom wallet, go to the centralized exchange, get yourself some Solana and trade it for Libra, whatever. And Javier Millei reposts this. This is today, on Monday, is a buyback for Libra. So like, what's going on? Is he getting back in? Is he trying to use this as an exit opportunity? Basically, inside the Coffezilla interview, there's conversations of maybe he will endorse this, maybe he will try to support it and unfuck the situation. But let's be real, this is bad, bad, bad. And as the stock market opens up in Argentina on Monday morning, we see this massive collapse, a 5.9% drop. Everybody's up in arms, obviously trying to impeach him moving forward on these accounts. He's going to have to get into defense. He's got this dumb meme coin mania that he's not very aware of, not very tuned into, that's just acting as a mechanism to destroy everything that he's built. So this is wildly nuts. Now, it goes further after that post. And we came to the chart and we saw the drop here. But this morning I wake up and sure enough, there's some people buying back in. Like, what the heck is going on here? But this just brings us back to the problem. You can't simply put the money back, right? The idea has been shattered. People are broken. And if this chart goes up, it's not like the holders are sitting there and they're going to support and endorse this project. So even this minor pump here gets immediately sold back down. I would say that the entire concept is over. And this Libra might be the death of the meme coin cycle, which I think is actually fine. Now we're seeing some upticks. So I know people that are personally gambling on this, saying, hey, in the chance that they actually take that 100 million and they put it back in, I'm willing to ride this. Sure, that's pure degeneracy, that's pure gambling. You do what you want, I can't endorse it. There are real projects this cycle that are building autonomous businesses that are generating revenue and returning it. It's my take. I would like to put my money into those. I would like to go to sleep at night knowing that these things are churning, that fees are being captured and generated, and that there is yield over time, and that these are good assets. This is reflective of the meme coin mania, the pump and dump, the high speed, try to get rich quick plays. Now, what's even crazier is that as things continue to unfold on Monday, Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports starts to open up that he tried to buy back into Libra, right? Saying, I support the idea, I'm standing with Millei, and he buys into the wrong Libra token. Now, why is that? That's because if you open up any of the screeners, there's a million fake alternative Libras, right? This is something that is part of the meme coin supercycle. I showed this with Broccoli that had like 2,000 Broccoli tokens, CZ's dog name, and it's really hard to tell without doing your proper diligence which one's the actual one, right? And this also gets back to if people do validate and verify these accounts, are they doing their diligence appropriately? Is there a responsibility if you say this is the official one, but the official one's also a rug pull or a crime in and of itself? Like, where does the responsibility lie? We've come so far away from regulation that this is just total chaos, and this is why casinos are regulated. So now we've come back to here we are. People are becoming extremely bearish on Solana. I can't really say it's Solana's fault. Solana just created a highly scalable blockchain. Crime has always happened everywhere that these things occur. We've seen it on Ethereum. We've seen it on Binance Smart Chain. But Solana has done a lot to endorse the Pump.Fund model. It created a lot of volume for them, a lot of revenue. However, Pump.Fund captures those fees and they pull it out of the ecosystem. They're selling that Solana for dollars at the end of the day. This does not continue to circulate. In the NFT craze, at least people had to generate art, right? Whether they went out and paid an artist or they did it themselves. This was pre-AI. So even though NFTs were very early on in the meme cycle, there was still something. There was the prestige of presentation that you had to pretend that people were collecting these art pieces. Now these meme coins are just click to deploy, throw a couple dollars in, and you can withdraw the capital.